the city of Babylon, there were two young people known as Pyramus and Thisbe. Pyramus is the beautiful youth, while Thisbe is the loveliest maiden of all the East. They were deeply beautiful. Since when they were children, they always looked at each other with curiosity, but they were the children of rival families. And because of that, they could never get closer. However, when they were no longer kids, an immense passion took control of the young couple's hearts even though they couldn't get closer. At distance, they exchanged gestures and signs of affection. They were neighbors of each other, and their homes were only separated by a wall. Since love always finds its way to the youngsters, discovered a crack in the wall and stood there for hours, whispering vows of love between themselves. The youngsters knew that their parents would never allow the couple's union.
How can a wall be so cruel? Why does it separate those who were meant to be together?
Let's not be ungrateful. If it wasn't for the small crack, we would not have the privilege to convey our love to each other's ears.
And so, they planned to run away to marry each other. They arranged things to meet the following night next to a monument at the border of the city, and they would meet under a large tree that was there. Thisbe is the first to arrive. However, there was a river near the tree, and there a lioness that had just devoured a prey was drinking water. Frightened, Thisbe ran to hide, but her cloak got stuck behind due to its feline curiosity. The lioness decided to play with the cloak using its sharp claws, but it soon felt bored and went away. Pyramus arrived right after that and encountered a cloak with marks of claws and bloodstains. The young man is consumed by intense guilt because of the idea to have the meeting in that isolated place was his.
Is it I who killed you?
Pyramus lifted up from the trampled dust that was left of the cloak and kissed it again and again while carrying it to the mulberry tree.
Now, you shall drink my blood too.
In an act of desperation, Pyramus unsheathed his sword and stuck it in his own heart. While returning from her hiding place, Thisbe encountered Pyramus dead at the foot of the tree where they had scheduled to meet. She noticed that he was holding her veil torn by the lioness and understood that sad scene. She flew to him and threw her arms around him.
It is I, your Thisbe, your dearest.
She cried to him. At the sound of her name, he opened his heavy eyes for one last glance at her. Then, that closed down.
Your own hand killed you, and your love for me. I too can be brave. I too can love. Only death would have had the power to separate us. You shall not have that power now.
Desolating, the young girl threw herself on the same sword that had claimed her lover's life. The couple's blood was absorbed by the root of the tree under which the couple perished, and its fruits turned red and became much sweeter. Despite their disagreements, the families of both suspended their hostilities and buried a couple of lovers one beside the other, and the tree, nourished by the youngster's love, continues to honor the couple with their sweet and reddish fruits today, is known as mulberries.
You taught me the courage of stars before you left. How light